Okay, hey, government class. Today's lesson is really all centered around the Declaration of Independence. It's just an incredibly important document in American history, and so we're going to go ahead and spend a whole class period on it. Um, we've really set the stage the last couple days, all right, for this. A couple days ago, we looked at just very short snippets of it to show you that Thomas Jefferson really took a lot of ideas from John Locke and his book Social Contract. Okay, and he's applying many of those principles then in the Declaration of Independence. And we kind of looked at those short snippets based on the fact that it was really, guys. Sometimes we think in American history like, oh, like America just wanted to be independent, so we wrote the Declaration of Independence. But really, it was a um, slow climax, right? In other words, as you did in the assignment a couple days ago, there was a number of events that angered the colonists and that caused a decline in the relationships between the American colonists and the British government. Okay, it wasn't overnight; it was actually really over a couple decades, and it all culminated then with the writing and the signing and the publication of the Declaration of Independence. So we laid the groundwork for it in terms of history 2 days ago, and then yesterday we took a more specific look at John Locke and Voltaire and Montesquieu and all those five famous philosophers, and you're going to see elements of several of them then in the Declaration of Independence. Okay, so again, we've really set the stage here, and maybe the last thing I'll give you before we get into some context for it specifically, this is a big deal in terms of courage to write it and to sign it, because this was really, although John Locke said right that it's the right of citizens to break their government and reform it if it was abusing power, this was still a treasonous offense. And if Thomas Jefferson and John Hancock and John Adams, George Washington, if they had been captured by the British, okay, I mean, they would have had their heads chopped off for sure. So, very, very serious document in history and very important. Now, as you start to read it, though, Thomas Jefferson is an amazingly eloquent writer, but he writes in the late 1700s. So he does not write in a style that is easy for you and me to read. So I've attached a resource here for you as you look on my screen in this folder here, right? You're obviously watching the Declaration video. I would really, really suggest that you go to the Declaration as a breakup letter resource. I'm gonna go to it here in a second, but I would really suggest you read this in its entirety because that, in essence, guys, is what the Declaration of Independence is. It is a breakup letter, right? It is a letter that's going to say, "Hey, England, we have seen these items in our relationship that you are doing that's causing friction. We don't like them. We have asked you to change them, and you just won't. And so, you know what? We have to split up. All right. And really, you're causing the problem. We've tried to mend it. We're sorry, but adios. We're out of here." Okay. Um, and so that's really what the Declaration actually is. All right. So if you take a look at this resource, um, it's just a one page document, right? It's really not all that long, but it's going to detail out a little bit here in the format of a breakup letter, so that you can kind of see perhaps kind of how the bigger Declaration of Independence is actually structured. All right, as it takes a while to load here. And sorry, takes a little bit longer. So as you look at it, really, here it is. Okay. I was getting worried. I thought, oh, what's going on here? Um, so really, the Declaration has three main parts. It has a first introduction part, okay, that kind of introduces what is the Declaration and why are we writing it and publishing it. And then it has a middle section where it actually lists off very specific offenses and issues that the colonists have with Great Britain. And then at the very end, it officially declares the independence of America and what that means on a world stage. Okay. And that's kind of the way that a breakup letter works, right? Like There's kind of an intro, okay? Then there's a section here in this kind of fictional breakup letter where it talks about specific things that the person has done that are angering the other person in the relationship, and then the official separation and split up here at the end. Okay, so again, I just suggest you read through it. It's kind of humorous to think of it that way, and again, maybe it helps a little bit to give some context to the Declaration of Independence. Okay, so after you do that, I just attached a link to the Declaration. There's dozens of websites you could go to, but I just try to make your life a little bit easier. And then you have the Declaration assignment down at the bottom today. All right. So hopefully this helps a little bit to give a little bit of foundation, kind of context to what's going on today in terms of reading and understanding what the Declaration of Independence is really actually doing.